Hello and welcome to the EEPROM 9. We have an interesting one today. We're doing the full repair of a Ricoh GXR, because why not? So basically the problem is this lens module, the shutter failed. The whole shutter aperture mechanism is it's all combined. I want to use this little pocket carry everywhere camera. And I can't in its current state because the images come out looking a bit weird, as we shall demonstrate. Often overexposed, and not the sharpest in the world. All that good jazz kind of thing. Because there isn't actually a way to activate the electronic shutter on this particular module, because that's one of the fun things about this system. It's entirely modular, which is really cool. The whole sensor assembly comes off. But the problem is, and we'll put the actual camera body over there, is the flex through way too much flexing has basically died. Now this is going to be an interesting challenge because you cannot actually get the flex for this particular lens, which is quite annoying. However, you can get the flex for the 50mm equivalent, or the 35 or 33 lens. And this is the flex I've currently got holding in my hand. So there's gonna be some interesting shenanigans. So if we put it like this, we got a screw hole blocking it, and also none of the holes line up for where it's soldered. If we line up the holes for the solder, everything mostly fits in place, but the flex comes out this way, so I have to do a bit of bend it round and out that slot it will inevitably go out. Which is fine. That can be done. So we shall warm up the soldering iron, and first stage will be soldering the flex onto the aperture mechanism, which while the soldering iron's heating up, which won't take long, you can actually trigger a little ND filter thing. The shutter, there's a little ND filter thing. I don't know why it leaves a gap there. The shutter, and if you do the little gear that's over here, you can manually trigger the aperture, which is quite fun. Autofocus for the win. Nothing's in focus. Well done, camera. Well done, phone. Right, we'll return everything back to the state it was, because that's its default state when it's off. Otherwise, we'll end up with a million errors that'll be a pain in the arse to fix on the camera. So we've got tiny little bits of flex here to move. Grab the solder over as well. This will be the most tricky bit. Well, I think there's going to be quite a few tricky bits, but it's never stopped us in the past. Focus on that. Thank you. That's that one free. Right, that's those three. They're going to be the most tricky. Let's bend them out the way just gently, because if they snap, it's game over. Discover that one resoldered itself back in place. Typical. There we goes. Don't resolder back in place, thank you. Right. Desoldering is one of my least favourite things to do, but yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, it's under the flag, that's what we want. There we go, like that. That's what we want. So that's the aperture This is a shutter mechanism, this is the aperture mechanism, and you fucking thing don't focus. This is the shutter mechanism, this is the aperture mechanism, so I use 2 coils to almost be like a clock. And then we have the ND filter thing there. There's apparently anti-aliasing filter thing in this, which I want to find a way to remove, because those are a bit problematic in that they don't provide super sharp focus, and sharpness is something I love. I mean, I do have lenses which are as sharp as a butter knife. Sometimes we shit. We shit. Cool. Hang on, I need to look at that. I see what happened. Itty bitty, that pulled out. That's not what we want. That will cause issues. Sorry you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing some very delicate work. We have a little piece I can just about see. Shoulder, 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 shoulder. Let's just check continuity to be safe. Why am I showing this all live instead of speeded up? Because I know this is going to be a challenge, and I want people to see any mistakes of what I make that they shouldn't make, because mistakes will be made. I'm very good at making mistakes. Right, I'm not going to put that on bleepity bleep mode. $19 ohms, that's good. 30 ohms. 24. Interestingly different from one another. This is going to be a bit more tricky to measure. It's all tricky measuring these little things. Fuck's sake. And this one is just not measurable until it's soldered. Okay, cool. I'll turn that off so I don't have it beeping in the background. So this is our knackered, useless, broken flex. I'm going to put this to one side because you can actually get new flexes remanufactured. I just don't know how to do that. Interestingly, this one doesn't have much sticky stuff on the bottom of that. Sticky stuff. What am I referencing? Cool. Those are out the way. This bit I might have to stick on off camera because I need it near the face, so bear with me. Right, that's the other one. You go like that, and then you go like that. start from this end. That's in them holes, that is in them holes, then that goes around to... So that's in them holes. I'm going to solder that together. Focus on that. This will be one of those times very appropriate for manual focus, but it's a phone, so manual focus isn't really a function you get. Come on, hurry up and heat up. Thank you. Ah, you bastard bit of solder! It just flew off and fucking hit me in the side. What an absolute arse. That goes in there. So we'll solder that one in first. So yeah, some of the bits of flex are a bit big. It doesn't void any of the screw holes that matter. It voids you taking the aperture mechanism apart, but... Oh, you stop doing that, you cunt! Fucking hell, this solder's like a goddamn cobra. Fucking just spitting at me. Don't label that in the fucking listing, do they? Just warning, this solder is a cobra. It will spit at you. Okay, cool. So that is soldered in place. That can be stuck down. Probably going to have to be about there, but that's fine. That little plastic thing can go bye-bye. Where's my snips? There they are. He seem to go by a few names, depending on who you are. So that can go bye-bye because that's causing issues. Turns out there'll be like a SpongeBob meme of like, the first mistake was made. Okay, cool. And this part has been relatively painless so far. Well, aside from the Cobra solder, that was very painful. Let's put some solder blobs on there. Because it's always easier to solder to something that's got tinning than trying to solder without tinning. That's how I get away with not using flux most of the time. This is going to be the tricky bit. Hopefully my breathing isn't too distracting because I am ill at the moment. Got some form of allergy. I don't know if it's COVID allergy or something else. Right. Oh, fuck you, gravity. Throwing my tools on the floor when I still need them. Typical gravity. Okay, that has not soldered on very well. That was expected. Because I'm soldering something I can barely see. I do have some magnifiers somewhere. Feed that into the solder. Of course, the fucking phone hasn't, and it's still not soldered in properly. We'll see if it gets continuity. Find where the other one went. There it is. Can you tell these were cut to be just long enough? Fuck's sake. Finds a way to not solder. We got it that time. Let's inspect my work. No, that one's properly in. It's just hard to see because it's so small. Right, the absolute mega test will be continuity. 9 ohms, perfect. 10 ohms actually. These meters aren't exactly the most accurate when they're dealing with low ohm ratings like that, but they're in the category of good enough. Okay, so we got the main module together. That's probably going to be one of the more tricky parts of this whole thing. But it does mean we're done with the solder, providing nothing else actually breaks. So we'll unplug that. And the next part is ripping apart the lens. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. So this lens is similar to disassemble to the 50mm equivalent one. Get rid of that. Vacuum can eat that. We chuck our dead flex to one side because, well, it's not really needed anymore. This thing's like stuck on with sticky tapes. You gotta get a knife in just at the right angle and pop it off. It normally takes a little more effort to get off than that, but as you can probably tell, I've done this a few times. I'll be making a video on it. So there's a few things we need to do. Grab a suitable screwdriver that fits the holes. This is a pH0, seems to do the trick. Sometimes you need to use the Japanese equivalent ones, which seems to create a big bother to the Americans, but over here it's not a big deal. It's like a pretty common screw type. Probably because they're metric. Oh, hello. Why are you giving me grief? Did I not undo the screws enough? Oh, I know why they're doing it. Because there's a little screw here. You undo that. You then twist and pull that. Then the focusing wheel comes with you. And as you can see, it's basically a little optocoder. Pop all the little bits like this to one side so you can keep them safe and so they don't get lost. Because Narnia is the place they're raring to go. And then I think I need to undo the screws a little more. That's fine. The screws are mocking me. Beep, beep, beep. That's exactly what they're doing. They're mocking me. The threads inside have got a bit worn from all the disassembly that I've had to do. Because they do only go into plastic. Unsurprisingly, the whole lens module needs to come apart, sensor and all. So you get to see an APS-C sensor, which is pretty cool. Feel free to skip ahead if there's any bits you think, oh, I don't need this. There we go. It's just kind of proof of some blind ignorance. That fixes a lot of stuff. Pop them in a place where I know where they are. I need for gravity to go and send them flying. But that is a separate problem. These ones the screws haven't worn out. The thing that worries me with the longer flex is it fouling the mechanism. Because it comes out there and goes down there. And there isn't exactly a lot of clearance in there. But I'll see what I can do. Because when it's actually in this state, it's actually extended at its most. Versus when it comes out, it's a bit weird. But anyway. I want to make sure there's some extra. But I might have to tuck up the good chunk of this actually inside the sensor housing. So we're at a state we can start taking apart from the back. Because I'm not going to start disassembling all this yet. Now, this to get apart from the back is actually relatively easy. I can go in there. There's not that many screws that you need to take apart to actually completely disassemble this module. Or any other modules of this. I'll put the shutter mechanism out of the way since it's been repaired. You just concentrate on these bottom screws. You made food?
Just for me.
Fair enough. I thought you were ordering food. Ah. What have you done?
Soup.
Ah, okay. Homemade soup or just soup that was in the cupboard?
Soup. Good soup.
Fair enough. Heinz.
Soup.
Just nondescript generic soup from Aldi.
You still recording?
Yes. You're alright to say stuff. I mean, they've put up with my voice for years, and you've got a lot more of a manly voice than me. Yeah, you have.
We'll let the commenters decide that one.
Yeah.
Give them something to comment about our industrial rambles.
Yeah, my rambles as I take apart a camera very delicately, the camera module. So yeah, here's a little APS-C module. This is the actual processor board. We have a nice Xilinx FPGA that will do the image processing here that the flat flex from the actual camera body goes straight into. The sensor connects down here, and we've got two other. Got an IC there, and there. This will be the motor driver one for all the various gubbins in here, like this motor and all the Aperture stuff and all that shit in there, which was an absolute nightmare to solder. I should actually check the continuity on all those just to make sure. Let's do that now while I'm thinking about it, because I'll probably forget otherwise. Always check your work. Don't just assume it works, because if you find a problem before you have to start debugging, you make life easier. So you are 9 or 10 ohms, we'll just go with, we'll just round up. You are 20 ohms. 25 ohms, and this one should be 30. I don't know why they're different ratings to each other. Yeah, I know 25 would be about right for that too. 23, yeah. Yeah, that won't be a problem. Cool. I'm very anxious about getting the whole thing in, because I want this to work. I want this to be a useful, practical camera for me as an everyday carry. Yes? What? I got interrupted for conversations about food. Glorious food. Let's unplug all the focusing motors and aperture shenanigans. There's 4 screws to do on this. One on this little bit of shielding. That, like any good bit of shielding, is connected straight to the negative. A screw here. You can actually get this whole module out without taking it apart, but we need to get to the little flat flex connector. One there. And one in this corner. Don't forget to unplug the sensor module. We might be able to get away with not unplugging the this, and yes, we can. Excellent. So let's give a quick look at the board while we got this opportunity of a teardown. So we've got a Maxim up here, which looks like it's related to power regulation with all the inductors and that around here. And then this tiny little thing down here that I don't recognise, but it's got a crystal. So this is probably actually a microprocessor, motor driver, power, FPGA, which does most of the work. Yeah, and that's really it. And then there's a few auxiliary underneath. There'll be motor drivers and power and all that kind of jazz. Little regulators and that, because CMOS sensors, much like CCDs, require a few exotic power supplies. All right. Let's pop this on top of the phone along with its screws. I was hoping the screen would stay black there because it makes the screws a lot easier to see. Alright, now we get to see the sensor module. Oh, exciting. I do like how sensors look. Luckily, we don't need to worry too much about alignment. Why? Because these are more shock absorption rather than alignment. The alignment's hard-coded in with the fucking glue stuff down here. Right. The thing to note is these all come out separately, so lots of little bits you can easily lose, so be careful. I always put the screws in the order they come out. That's always something I've always just done. No one else does that, I've noticed. No one else does that tactic of just, you know, the screws come out of the triangle, they go there at a triangle. And no one else does that, and I don't know why. It's just one of those things I figured out on my own. Before YouTube even existed. Then the sensor module pops out. And look at the glorious beast. APS-C. That is part of why I wanted a Ricoh GXR or Fuji X100 or something, but this was the thing at the right price for me. There's where our flex goes in that we're replacing. If we do that, it might actually focus on what we want. Miracles. There's where the flex comes through, that little slot there, goes in here. Now, I might have to throw an extra and just bunch it up in here and then just hold it down with the sensor, essentially. But yeah, when we put this down, we'll put it face down, not because we don't want to look at its beauty, because, well, it is a thing of beauty, really, with a sensor this big. We don't want dust to land on it, and this is a very dusty environment in here, because dust is a bastard and you just can't get rid of it no matter what you do. It's just there. This is about as much as we want to disassemble this part of the camera. However, these are the 3 screws that hold this whole module in, but you have to remove the whole front section of the 2 bits I removed at the beginning to get to this gubbins, to actually be able to get this out. It took a while to figure that out. So that comes out with 3 screws. Once again, we put them in the order they come out. Whereas most people just like yeet, yeet in a box. All mixed together. And boom, their little foreskin comes off. And we can put that to one side safely, on top of the keyboard, for example. Now we're through to taking this part apart. So there was a screw in there, but that hung off over that way somewhere to never be seen again. There's 2 of these. There's one there and one there. Then there's the motor down here. Getting the alignment of all this correct so it all goes back together is tricky. And then there's 4 screws that hold this section on, and the whole lens module comes out as one piece. So we will very delicately remove the itty bitty microscopic screws. Because this is the thing with cameras, is they use itty bitty microscopic screws. Just like watch repair, but I've actually been watching watch repair channels because it's actually quite interesting. Because like with cameras, they're dealing with very precise mechanical mechanisms. That's why it's kind of funny. I actually managed to adapt a lens by sandpapering the 3D printed part on the bricks of the house because I lost my sandpaper. And we got 4 screws here. Just kind of casually use a house to sand a piece of plastic down so the optics are aligned correctly. No precision, just sandpaper on the side of a house on the brickwork because that's just what I had available to me. Hold this down because this is going to want to ping up because it's got a giant spring underneath. Oh, no, don't do that. And then just gently let it raise up. Pop that to one side somewhere out of the way. This will slide off. This is all part of the focusing helicoid and all that you can see in there. And just gently let that out. And boom. We have the whole optical assembly apart. And we don't need to take that apart anymore, so we can put that to one side, out of the way. Also, make sure you know where your dust blower is. You're going to need it to blow off the inevitable bits of dust that fly on the parts you don't want dust to be. There's the rear of the lens. So this is where the flex comes out this slot and then goes wee up there and then down to there. This is going to be the tricky bit, is getting the amount of flex right, because it's really too long. That's right, comes out over there and then goes over the top of the bit here into here. You'll see when I route it. So I'm probably going to have to route most of it inside the camera. Right, this bit it was a bit awkward because I had glue blobs. Oh, for fuck's sake, focus. There, and then another load underneath that. There, I think like there, and there, or wherever. So you're gonna have to pick them off. But it's that really hard optical glue they use that picks off actually quite easily. So this one, you'll want to spin round like this. So that one is. So this one will be default. You want to spin like this so you can see the screws, and then you can lift this bit up because these are spring tensioners. Pop that like that, and then you can lift the optical mechanism out. And you have the whole front optical mechanism. Pop that to one side. And then you can do the same with this one, because then you can just jury rig this one out the way. Somehow. This is part of why you have to do this bit, because you have to unscrew these to get this bit out. Which, as you can guess, is awkward. But you need to move this into this position to get the actual front element out. It's an interesting design. So undo these. This is one of these cameras that focuses by moving this whole lens assembly forward and back, and then you can pop this out. Figure out the side that the flex comes out. There we goes. This doesn't matter so much what way round it goes round because it's basically triangle symmetrical, equal on all sides. There you go. You can see where that's where I super glued it back together because I had to take it apart. That can go back there. Right, this is going to be an awkward bit because I don't think I'm going to be able to tuck a lot of the flex actually inside. 3 screws. You can see where the shutter bit is. This thing's doing an amazing job on focusing on the right thing. Then this should just out. There we go. Right. Find my blowy thing. Where is that gone? Where is that hiding? It's on the desk somewhere. That's a recall notice for my car. Do you know where my blowy thing's gone, Ash? Ash? Do you know where my blowy thing's gone? Where is it hiding? Oh, this gets annoying. Okay, so my blowy thing's fucked off to Narnia because, well, it's a bitch. Too late. So we feed the cable through there for the tiny little itty bitty slot. Which is awkward as all hell because you're dealing with tiny itty bitty holes. It's almost like a virgin hole. Yeah, I'd help if I was shoving it in the right place. Oh. And we thread it in. Any luck? Cool. Okay, the little blower thing has decided to reappear from existence. The instant bit of dust that's landing on it. Alright, this is going to be the tricky bit. Because that needs to go in like that. In a very specific way round. And that needs to go like that. Let's see if we can get away doing this. That's a good sign. Pulls that way, but not that way. Okay. Okay, cool. So that's actually installed in that section, which is good. Sometimes what you have to do is awkward. Cool, we're not so worried about that screw now. I have to pull that through in a way it goes like that. Doesn't interfere with that. Yeah, so it goes down flat basically. That should be alright. Cool. Cool, that should be alright. And we've still got this lovely, plenty long enough bit here. Where's the main bit actually? That is still longer than that. That is good. Because that means we have length. We have length and we have girth. Well, we don't have much girth with this, but we have length. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's pop this back in. To here. And then the rest of the lens module just push down there and push that out of the way. I'm going to have a drink in the meantime. I'm going to nab out a bit extra because I can. Cool, good. Right, find where the screw holes are. There they are. And then we screw these things back in. Always use a magnetic screwdriver for this kind of stuff, just to save yourself some frustration. How good we are recording. Thought we weren't for a moment. I'd be like, damn, I just did a whole section. Yeah, my partner's not too keen appearing on the camera, which is fair enough. Quite a lot of people are camera shy at the end of the day. Make sure the metal isn't resting on that. Of course. I think that's the hole. It is the hole. Good. Cool. One more. Remember, if you get bored, you can skip ahead. It's one of the reasons I'm doing this video is because there's no videos that go over doing this for this lens. Links to the flex will be in the description. Because sometimes you can get away with using not necessarily the same parts, but similar. Now, before we twist that back, we have to twist this one back in place. So let's get us to this little nodule here. That's all right. I'll blow out any dust that's blown in the shutter mechanism. then that will just go in there like that. That's not really interfering with the flex, which is what we want. Alright, some of these bits need prying up a tad. This is one of them. You just do this. And then you twist it back on. Right. And then you have to lift it up a bit and slot it into a little nodule. Then we can move that along to lock it in place, and boom. That is the flex installed in the actual lens module. There is some dirt from this. You're better off doing this on like a microfiber cloth or something. So here comes a bit of the butt clenching stage. So that goes up like that. And we grab two pieces that I wasn't able to have installed in the camera while the flex was removed. That is an itty bitty microscopic screw and a tiny bit of plastic and a tiny bit of metal. Yeah, things actually turn the focus properly for once. That's a nice change of pace. Right. I don't know if you're going to be able to see on the camera, but there's a little notch there. For fuck's sake, focus on that. Little notch there, you want to line that up with a little notch on the bit of metal down here that you can see in this corner here. Here. Because this is your strain relief, essentially. This is not where it failed. It failed just above it. Cool, we got it the right way round. Pop it on, hold it there with a finger, because magnets. Grab the itty bitty microscopic screw. Try and position it on the screw one-handed. Struggle to position it on the screw one-handed. Succeed. And insert into the hole, and the whole thing becomes misaligned. Just the way it goes when doing this. Sometimes it takes a few attempts to get it right. It's where you do have to have a bit of patience and have to put up with a bit of annoying faff. Which I'll admit is not a strong suit with me. Get that realigned in place. And try again. Instantly for it to go completely wrong. Nope. This is where to turn your... Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, we're going to have to restart from beginning again. This might take a few attempts, because as soon as a screw touches it, it's just... Oh, fuck! That was close. The screw, luckily, rather than fly down onto the floor and get lost to the nethers of time, it landed on my leg. Right, let's try and get that. There we go. Got it around the right way again. Get that in. And try again. There we go. There we go. And then the screw doesn't actually it's one of those horrible itty bitty tiny screws. Where's the iFixit kit? It's right here. Right. That's where I struggle to find the right size bit. Because that's no good. I think I have to use this one. Yeah, I have to use that one. I have to change bits. I can get away with using one bit for this. This is a J000. The screw, of course, wants to go in wonky and fuck up. Oh, for fuck's sake. I might just end up giving up and just gluing this in. That's just spinning round on the surface. Let's try to do a tip again. That feels exactly the same. For fuck's sake. Oh no, it's screwing in. Boom, it's in. Boom. It is in. We have strain relief. It was awkward as hell, but we have strain relief. We didn't end up needing the super tiny one, kind of ironically. Okay, cool. We are ready to start reassembly. This used to come out like that and then go down there like that, didn't it? Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah, probably just flexes like that and goes basically. Yeah, it just wore out the whole section of the flex. Like that, and then. Just wear out the flex over time, it did. So that lens obviously got some use. Cool. What? Right, so notches have just been consumed. In my case, cookies! Because I love them. And now we come back to reassembly. That's the side with the slot in. This bit, as you can imagine, is a little bit on the finicky side. Let's clean the rear lens element. These clip on like that, and then it's do 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 do. Rubber blower. Blow at the sensor. Oh, that's just a crumb falling off me. And then that can go for the Annoyingly, the sticky stuff is on the wrong side, but you know what, we can live with that. So I can say goodbye to that little notch that's supposed to align the flex. Oh, fuck. I think you can probably guess what happened there. Hey, look, you can see a weird pattern from my legs on the lens. And of course, you're not in focus. No. Not too worried about the front optical element because I can clean that when I've got the main section together. Right. Oh, I just accidentally touched the back of the sensor thing. That's fine. That is fine. Right. This is where I need it to stop doing that. Just stay together so I can, one, get you to focus, to feed this into a little connector here. So yeah, if you choose to do this, it won't be easy, but it's also not impossible. It's just very, 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 very fiddly. Come on. Go in the hole. There we go. Houston, we have penetration. Cool. Right. Go in there. Grab this thing. Oh, fuck nuggets. Yeah, this is very, 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 very awkward to do. Cool. That sticky shit being on the wrong side isn't helping. Fuck's sake. That's fine. It's a tricky, for fuck's sake. That bastarding sticky stuff.
He's doing a YouTube video.
Oh, the bastarding sticky stuff is gonna fucking do my nut in. Hang on, I gotta take all this apart to deal with this fucking bastarding sticky stuff. Out comes a little awkward fucker. Put that to one side. Right. Of course, you're not focused on the right thing. Focus on that, not my hand.
Nice.
Disadvantage of using a phone is you have no manual control over anything. You're at the whim of auto everything. I have to be so careful not to tear this flex, because if I do, I've got to wait like another million weeks for it to arrive, because the only place it comes from is China.
Mm-hmm.
Thought this would be the other awkward part, getting it installed. Alright, we got blemish on the rear lens element. Thanks to all that. Right.
He's repairing a lens.
Let's do this a bit differently. Fuck's sake. Those bits come off.
Yeah. See you there.
Do that. And feed that back through. Because once it's in and moving, it doesn't really matter how it goes back together. You'll have to sort of manually slot it in there because it's being a nightmare. To be expected. Cool. Slot it back through. It's what I had to do last time. It's a bit of an awkward faff.
Hello.
There we go. That's what
One goes, one joins.
That's popped off again, but that's fine. Yeah, it's just
magic was there a second ago.
Just very delicate bosses. Too delicate in my words. Come on. Good.
Okay.
Ah, it's not twisting now. Sake, you bastard.
Mm-hmm.
to take it apart again. I also forgot to put the spring in. For fuck's sake. Can you tell this is a very delicate and annoying process? That through there, you can't even see I'm doing it, which is annoying. Cool. That's what we want. There goes like that. Make sure this is on the motor side. Turns out it's wrong. It's bloody falling off. Piece of course it is.
I was supposed to have pizza for lunch, but
Oh god, this is annoying.
I don't know. I want it.
This is very delicate and annoying.
Yeah, I don't know why it's only £100, but I want it. Hello.
Why does it not want to fit back together properly?
Good.
Yeah, reassembling optical mechanisms is a bit of a pain. Right, until this is around the right way.
He said he's waiting for a pizza to cook. I was supposed to be having pizza for lunch, but Just Eat fucked up and didn't deliver our pizzas. Yes. I was doing a Just Eat order from Asda, but the main thing I wanted from there was the pizzas. I ordered some sausages and I wanted some sausages and a curry as well from there and some cookies. We got those bits, but they just didn't have the pizzas in, so we couldn't have the pizzas. We're just not been feeling up for going out. So we just I'll do an Asda order. Did you say hi with multiple eyes? Did you say hey with multiple wires?
That wasn't a good sound.
She wants the tea. She wants more swords. You already did. You already did. It was made of plastic. I'm watching what I'm saying because he's recording a YouTube video in the background.
This is so awkward. Still not together properly. as you can see, putting this thing together is not easy. What? Why? I'm kind of in the middle of it. Okay, let's try a little something. Oh god, I am recording. I didn't think I was. Right, let's just hold that down. Doesn't mean to go back up. Yeah, why are you not going back down fully? There is something that's stopping you. Oh, for fuck's sake! This is infuriating. This is bloody infuriating. Cool, that's that in. Now I've got to slot this down there. Trying to do this on camera is very difficult. You can see it's not an easy process. If you choose to do this, you will be having a lot of annoying faff to deal with. Cool, that's going the full way down now. Right. It's very, 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 very. I am going to move that along. Hold it down. Find the little clamping system, which is this. Light gear is on. Boom. Okay, cool. Good. We got a very difficult bit done. No one ever said this stuff was easy. But the rewards are worth it. Last time when it didn't power up, I gave it a little twist and it powered up. Right. Now we can put these on. The whole fucking thing not roll with me, which I don't want. And start screwing the microscopic screws back in. There's a lot of Hall effect sensors on this sort of thing. Hall effect, optical, the lot. He is now in his home. This one's about to be in his home. She's wondering why the video's taken so long. Pretty much because I want to go through the whole process. It's not about making it super exciting and riveting for all viewers. It's about just making sure that the whole process is there for those who need it, because I'm sure there's more than just me who needed to fix one of these out there. And there's no information on it. Yeah, so you have to get rid of the fucking sticky stuff because that's just going to hinder you. I'll clean that off. Microfiber is your friend. Same with the front element. Doesn't look like any dust got on in there, so that's good. Yeah, annoyingly they glue a lot of these lenses together. Exactly why I wasn't able to fix a lens fully for someone recently. Need to start charging to do this sort of stuff. I mean, what's this taken? Like an hour and 16 minutes to do just this bit? It's always hard to say how much time it'll take to do one of these jobs, but there we go. There's like the flex in. A little bit sticking out there, but that is fine. I'm actually going to leave that sticking out like that because that gives a bit more strain relief. Okay, cool. I am going to start reassembling the back because, well, it needs it. That's back in. Give you one last look at that beautiful, sexy sensor. The Fuji ones look just as gorgeous. Oh yeah, one thing to note is this one is shorter than the ones for these two. That is something that could very easily catch someone out. There's where the screws, the spring for the screws gone. Oh, you didn't see that. Was my fingers in the way. That like bounced off and went there. These are tight, but not too tight. Doesn't need to be as tight as a virgin's ass. Oh, I just dropped it. Where did it go there? Cool. Oh, for fuck's sake. What are you messaging me? Ba-ding. There we go. Fuck off. Okay, cool. That's that. That flex is in there. That flex is going to go in there. That one's going to go, if the sensor's going to go into the main board. But first, I don't need to do this. I can reassemble it all there. Oh, but I'd rather do it like this way. Let's get this back in its case. Get the foreskin back on. I watched one of Ben Heck's teardowns, was hilarious because he just went random at one point. And this is the part where I go and have sex with my wife. Oh, Like, and this is the bit where I go and have sex with Ash. That'd be about the only thing that would actually get me away from what I'm doing right now. The power of, don't underestimate the power of boners. They are a strong force. Right. Oh, my armpits, they stink. Need a shower. Smelling my own stink. It's grim. But do I shower? No, instead I'm just here tinkering with cameras and stuff like that, because that's more what is engaging to me right now. I actually kind of fancy a bath. I should have a bath instead. Nice, long, relaxing bath. I'm in for like 2 hours. That'd be wonderful. Cool. I'll probably have to take this apart again, because last time I did this, not everything worked straight away. Everything's all connected up. I had to twiddle with the lens, actually, because it's very sensitive about its start spot. Luckily, I didn't have to completely disassemble it. Hopefully that's the last time I ever have to disassemble this. I should have had a camera handy to take high quality pictures the whole time. Did I know I forgot? And it's too late now, because I have no inclination to take, well, the optical assembly apart again. But I can do it. If you've got one of these lenses and needs it fixed, you know what? Get in contact. We can arrange a price that's good. It's not going to be super expensive, but it's also not going to be super duper cheap, because, well, you've seen the amount of work that goes into putting one of these together. Alright. There we go, that fits over that quite nicely, actually. Actually, it's in a state I can test it. I don't need that bit on right now. Of course, I did that. That's fine. Camera. Off. Well, that's a good sign. It's putting that ND filter thing in there. Let's do a test shot of the keyboard. Ah, that's more like it. Definitely some ISO noise. Sharpness is okay. I mean, it's not Fuji sharp, but it's not Yashica as sharp as a butter knife. 200 ISO, EV, 152 of a second, 2.5. It works! It works! We have a picture of the keyboard. Not overexposed. Quite a lot of ISO noise in there for 200 ISO. Won't get anything on the Fuji, but this isn't the Fuji. Here we go. Let's do another picture of the solder thing. I don't know. Hopefully you heard the shutter. It's got quite a nice little sound to it. Yeah. Focused on something over here. Yeah, that's the bit that's in focus. Let's zoom in on that. Yeah, that's quite reasonable when it comes to focus. I'm not going to complain too much about that. As a general carry-round lens, this will do beautifully. I can just keep in the pocket. I have achieved something I want for a long time. That makes me very happy to have achieved that. Right. I don't think that really makes much of a difference what way around it goes on, to be honest. Ash! It's fixed! The flex worked! Ash! He's not paying attention. I'll go in there and bitch slap him with my cock, and then that'll get his attention. Oh, hello. Wasn't happy there. Cool. Don't know if you can hear him in the background. Sometimes you have to put these back together when they're switched on. So yeah, if you've got a Ricoh GXR module that needs fixing, get in touch. Haven't decided on prices, but I'm sure something reasonable can be worked out. Fair for both parties. Fair for me, fair for you. Just make sure that switches off. Okay, good. Quite a noisy mechanism, actually. Right, that can go back on. Let's actually, before we do that, let's give the lens a microfiber wipe. If there's a bit of dust on the sensor, I'm just dealing with it. Oh, hang on. Oh, I know the way that goes round. I just figured it out and figured out the reason. Cool. There's a little dot there that needs to be at the top for the alignment of the front plate. Love watching the Aperture just do its thing. It's got a proper aperture. That's how you know it's a proper camera. It's got a proper aperture. Quite a few blades. You get some nice Sunstar effects with it. Right, let's just make sure it turns on and off properly and the flex isn't jamming it. Can't see the flex, but that's fine. Right. There we go. Yeah, see the little it's fucking not focusing in the right area. There, little notch needs to be up there. We accidentally had it down here. Yeah, these screws have like destroyed the threads in the screw holes because plastic, fantastic. So, yeah, even a modern lens can be repaired with enough motivation. Yeah. So that is the Ricoh GXR fixed and happy. And I can now use it because without the shutter, it tends to not expose stuff properly. Surprise, surprise. It needs that shutter. So I can just look at that lovely aperture. It's quite noisy on the focus. Let's focus on the lens cap on the keyboard. Boom. It's fixed. It works. The flex worked.
Nice.
There we go. That's actually decently sharp. That's decent. This doesn't have that horrible Canon ISO noise. So yeah, that concludes the video. Let's actually conclude the video by fully reassembling it. Oh. So that's the lens, the focus wheel. Don't know if you can tie that to the aperture as well. That'd be nice if you can. Then we line the hole up so we can put the screw in, which is here.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming you've had your bedroom wank. There we go. Boom! Fixed! And that is the end of the video. An hour and a half to fix it, but hey, it works! And now I have my carry everywhere camera, finally! Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully this is helpful for some of you guys getting your Ricoh GXRs running again on these particular lenses. Because these cameras are over 10 years old now. I love how 10-year-old camera these days is still decent. Thanks for watching.